and welcome to This Is Philip. We gotta talk.
We do, because Xbox Game Pass has been revamped, revitalized, and more expensivized. Just this morning, they announced a complete overhaul. They've renamed each tier. They have also completely sort of changed what each tier does, and the ultimate tier has gone up to $30 a month. I think like a lot of people, I saw this morning like, oh, these greedy bastards. Looking into it, I still think that there's an element of that, but also there are some parts of Game Pass that are actually better now if you have some of the lower tiers, and I think it's actually worth us going through the entire thing.
Ever since it came out, it's kind of just been like, you should just have the ultimate.
So previously it was
you really shouldn't
$20.
do anything else, but like there's a small niche amount of people who like could get away with like the core, but it was still really confusing because like sometimes it was you could only play on PC, sometimes you could only play on console.
Yeah.
It was really confusing, and this does standardize a lot of it.
Let's just start by breaking down what's new. So Game Pass Core, the base version, which is $10 a month, that has been renamed to Game Pass Essential. Still $10 a month. However, you go from 25 console games and the ability to play online to 50, quote, over 50 games.
Playable on PC, console,
yep,
and cloud.
So basically that bottom tier now adds cloud gaming, which is cool, and it now is PC. So there's no longer a separate PC Game Pass thing. You just get Game Pass, and every version of it includes console PC games by default. So basically the bottom tier is objectively just better in every way. Like, there's no question about that, but that is cool.
Also, let's make one thing clear. You have to have one of these if you want to be playing online. If you want quote unquote traditional Xbox Live, which almost everyone playing an Xbox does, you need one of these plans. So just keep that in the back of your head.
So bottom tier, actually pretty decent. Same price, new name, a bunch of extra features. Then we get into Xbox Game Pass Premium. Now this is a replacement for Xbox Game Pass Standard, same price. So we're at the $15 a month tier. Gave you access to, quote, hundreds of console games. As far as I understand, if you're on any of the original tiers, you're automatically being switched over to the new ones. You don't have to like resubscribe, although you might want to resubscribe on some of these.
It was all the first party day ones.
Until they changed it.
They changed it.
Yeah, so as of yesterday, you could not get day one games.
That was a huge selling point for Game Pass. It's just like Xbox owns a studio that's coming out with the game. Yeah. You're going to get that day one. And then they kind of quietly took that away.
The standard tier is being improved. So previously you had, quote, hundreds of games, but there was no cloud gaming, which has now been added. There's also no PC, which has now been added. And you now get, quote, access to new Xbox published titles within a year of launch, excluding Call of Duty. And they say something about you get higher priority in the queue for cloud gaming.
So the same way that you have like the GeForce, so there's a priority line.
Yeah. There's actually 3 priorities. Every tier gets you more quicker access.
You get a higher priority, and then you get a higher quality. You also get 1440p.
But only on Ultimate, which we'll get into in a second.
Yeah.
But I guess there is one good thing here, which every single tier comes with unlimited cloud gaming. And which tier you're on is like how much you have to wait to like queue in. For some people, hey, adding cloud gaming to the tier you're already on, sweet. You basically have to buy Call of Duty, which is honestly looking at the Ultimate tier, you might want to just start buying Call of Duty anyway. I think we can say, again, with some relative confidence, that the premium tier is the same price, adds PC gaming, adds cloud gaming, and they're being more specific in what you're getting, which is kind of what the case was before. You might have gotten games a little bit quicker than a year, but also they just say within a year. So you might only wait a month or 3 months or 6 months. And it does also have the rewards program, which, well, again, what we're gonna talk about, but this has a higher tier of the rewards. So bottom tier, fine. Medium tier, fine. Ultimate is not fine.
It is $30 a month. You get basically all the things you did get with Ultimate before, which is kind of the hard pill for me to swallow. Most of what you're getting in the Ultimate was things they took away from the original premium plan. So the biggest one is 75 day one games a year. They specifically say including all Xbox published games day one. Yeah. If it's an Xbox game, which they own half the industry now, it's day one.
Which is cool that they give you a specific number. 75, I mean, that's like over one day one release per week.
So with the 75 plus, that means they are committed to bringing over some non-Xbox games.
Of course, and they've been doing that pretty regularly, right?
Then you also get Ubisoft Plus Classics.
I don't know how many people pay for that, if I'm honest with you. Unless you want to play Monopoly 2024 on Xbox. But the big thing they've added here that I think actually most people care about is Fortnite Crew. So Fortnite Crew, if you are not a Fortniter, is a $12 a month subscription. Comes with the battle pass, comes with 1,000 V-Bucks, and comes with like some random like extra little bits and bobs. That is now going to be included with your Ultimate subscription. If you play Fortnite and you already are a subscriber to the Fortnite Crew, then Ultimate becomes a lot more appealing because it went from $20 to $30, and that's a $12 a month subscription that's included. If you are already paying for Xbox Game Pass, and you already have the Fortnite Crew or whatever, then this makes sense. That is probably a not massive proportion of people.
I feel like that Venn diagram is pretty thin.
And on top of that, they've removed the ability to pay a year in advance. Sometimes you get like a code that was a little bit cheaper for a year subscription.
Yeah, it's like 10% overall.
That's gone. As of right now, you have to pay for Game Pass month per month. Maybe you sign up for Ultimate for a month and play Call of Duty, whatever, and then you go down to one of the lower tiers when you don't care about all the extra stuff.
Or just cancel it entirely.
If you just want a year subscription to Game Pass, that is a $360 per year sort of number. When Game Pass first came out, 15, 17, even 20 bucks. It was bordering on a no-brainer because you were getting so much stuff day one. There's a point in which, do you buy a game or two a year? Then just subscribe. But now that we're looking at $30 a month and no really ability to discount that at all, really with bundles and whatnot, it's still worth it for some people, but like,
So, all right, one thing, it's not entirely clear on this new rewards program.
Yes.
So,
yeah, it's super complicated.
Right. With the different tiers, you earn up to $25, $50, or $100 a year in-store credit.
Let me give you an actual real quote here. Ultimate subscribers can now earn up to $100 per year or 100,000 points globally in the store just by playing games, with 4 times points on purchases of games and add-ons, and up to 20% select Game Pass games. This is very complicated. The way it makes it seem is if you're an avid Xboxer or you're playing on your ROG Xbox Ally or your PC, whatever, the more you interact with the store via purchases, via playing, like a bunch of these stuff kind of add up and you will get some points back, and which you can use those for whatever.
If you are really invested into this ecosystem, $100 off a year.
But that's max though. And here's the thing, can you hit that $100 just by purely playing 745 hours of friggin' Baldur's Gate? Like, I don't think so.
If, again, the whole thing is that you're playing Fortnite and you're doing your V-Bucks, I feel like it's not gonna be that hard. This is the 4G chess they're trying to play, especially with the handheld now with the gaming modes.
Play more.
Play whatever you want, as long as you do it through Xbox. They mentioned something, but I don't see any actual specifics to it. In like the essentials, they say, including benefit to Riot game titles. If they're trying to funnel you through some, like saying like, hey, if you're gonna be doing all your EA things and buying your Ultimate teams through our store, all your V-Bucks through our store.
Yeah, you're gonna get those rewards.
The rewards, and then if it's money you're already going to be spending, I don't think it's gonna be crazy to hit that $100 a year.
It might not be.
I'm just saying, like, try and do some math of how it works for you specifically.
Even then, I don't think you can do that math easily because it's so complicated.
Probably not.
Like, if you are an Xbox Game Pass subscriber of any sort of version, you're gonna get some of these rewards. Imagine you're gonna get a little bit back here and there, but I think you can just kind of push that off to the side. The only other major advantage you get with Game Pass Ultimate is that you get not only the quickest priority access to cloud gaming, there's a new tier which is going to give you 1440p streaming. I don't know if that's a huge selling point, but if you are a big fan of cloud gaming, the Ultimate tier will give you a slight or hopefully moderate boost to quality.
And I always like to talk about cloud gaming. One of the really good benefits to cloud gaming on Xbox specifically is you can play the game while it's actually downloading. I mean, granted, we live near a data center, so it's like we're fortunate. I always have to remind people, if you're trying to VPN into a, like, if your country does not have cloud gaming, it's because there's no data centers there. So if you're trying to VPN into the US to get cloud gaming and then complaining about latency, it's a little bit on you. There are more benefits than just like, oh, I could play this on my phone. Just pointing that out there. This is, I feel like, a weird move the same week that they just announced their handheld. I still think 1,000 is too much for the handheld for most people. Let's go over the last 2 weeks of Xbox.
Please do, my friend.
They jacked up the price on Xboxes.
I'll be honest with you, after the last price cut, I stopped paying attention. It's atrocious.
They announced the full screen gaming mode for PC.
It's not the exact same thing because On the handheld, it also does some stuff like not loading extra Windows bits.
That sounds like that's just coming to Windows based on
Potentially.
insider builds. You could theoretically just turn your gaming PC into big picture mode. A TV PC user is gonna love that.
Sure.
The pre-orders for the handheld sold out pretty
For
fast.
the ROG Xbox Ally. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
so, like,
momentum here. Like,
there's momentum.
People want this thing. Well, no, you know what though? Here's the Black Ops comes out in a month. They're upping the price because if you want to play Black Ops 7, you need Ultimate. I personally think that you should maybe consider lowering your Xbox tier if you're already on Ultimate. My reasoning for that is that $30 a month, to me, is a lot. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is no longer the kind of somewhat no-brainer that it was if you're an Xbox or PC gamer. Even if Call of Duty was giving $80, which is not, $70, you can still buy several $80 games a year to justify that sort of overall price. My recommendation, personally, is to consider buying a game or two a year if you really want to play them on day one, and just subscribe at 10 or 15 bucks a month for the online gaming, for the cloud gaming, for the stuff across PC. Theoretically, you could be paying 10, 15 bucks a month to get the majority of games that you're going to want to play, and then buy one or two day one things that you actually really care about. Like, that feels like the right move. And the fact that they've gotten rid of the yearly subscription and moved to entirely monthly makes me think that they're beefing up the lower tiers and they're making the top tier harder to justify. I think they're expecting a lot of people to move down a tier or maybe move back and forth. And I think that if you're smart, that's what you should be doing.
Devil's advocate. I think that's what Xbox wants you to do.
Oh,
been a while.
God. It has been a minute.
Xbox made the Ultimate expensive just so the middle tier seems more enticing because they know you're impatient. They know you cannot wait for that day one game, so you're gonna buy it, and they're gonna dangle that little like ooh 20% off Game Pass titles in front of you, and then you're thinking like, oh, you know, I'll only do this a couple times this year, but it's 3, 4, 5 times. And then suddenly you've paid more money in the long run than if you had just done the $30 a month. I'm not defending the $30 a month, by the way. I'm actually pretty mad about that. I'm mad because they took stuff away and then brought it back more expensive. When you take something away that you did at a lower price and then reintroduce it at a, like, oh, look at what we're giving you.
Yeah.
That pisses me off. The premium only makes sense if you are fully in. I only play
Fortnite. You play
on
Xbox,
PC.
Yeah.
I almost don't think you should be doing Game Pass anymore. You should almost not go with Xbox at all and just go PC because you don't have to pay for online access.
What this really reminds me of, and I know you're not going to like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. So American Express recently changed their top tier card, or their almost top tier card, which is the Platinum. This is a credit card that has become very popular. And the way it works is that you get like lounge access and all these kind of travel perks and stuff. And what they've done is almost the exact same thing here, which is something that's really upsetting. They've raised the price and they've given you basically a glorified coupon book. If you have this card and you're paying the giant yearly subscription fee for the card, what you're gonna get is like $100 at like Lululemon. It's like one of those things where like it's easy for these companies to offer a perk like giving you Ubisoft Plus or giving you like the Battle Pass, whatever, because they know that a substantial chunk of people are not going to do that. The same way that I am probably not going to spend my yearly Lululemon allowance or whatever, because I don't give a It's just one of those things where I understand that like if you take advantage, if you're the kind of person who maxes out the perks on your credit card and is going to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and you're going to like really leverage it, then this makes sense. But I think that there's a lot of people like myself who just want to play some day one games and don't really care about am I going to use the Battle Pass or not, or am I going to download a bunch of Ubisoft games, or am I going to use all the EA Play benefits and get all my rewards and stuff. Like, are you a min-maxer? Because if you're not, and I would argue most people aren't, this just doesn't make that much sense.
I think people think they're a min-maxer.
Yeah.
And then in the like, I think that if day one is important to you, just go with the Ultimate.
It's worth it then.
No, I don't. No. I think you're going to talk yourself into more money if you don't go with that. There's going to be enough times a year when you say, oh, you know what? I'll just buy this one because I want day one, which makes up the delta between those two plans. A fourth game in this scenario puts you over, like you're all in at the end of the year.
You know what I like about my video games when I have to do a bunch of math on the economic model?
I'm not defending any of these prices.
But I see what you mean.
I think
there's an argument there, yeah.
I think that the middle plan is there specifically
to catch you.
It's like Starbucks. A small and a large are the same. It's just the amount of ice they put in it. But then like, oh, you know, if you're getting large, well, there's extra room for cream, so that's an add-on. There's extra room for sugar, there's an add-on. I'm not happy with this. I think that this is ill timing for some of the other stuff.
I do question how many people are actually ever going to hit the $100.
Not many.
Very
I
small.
agree. Yeah.
But again, I feel like people think they will.
Exactly. If you're subscribing to Xbox Game Pass, pretend that the rewards thing doesn't exist. It's a nice little bonus. There's definitely a genre of people out there who enjoys to go out and coupon and maximize your credit cards and get the most of your Game Pass. Like, I mean, by all means, have fun. I just think that for the average person, you don't want to pull up your spreadsheets on how many hours of whatever game you need to play this week to earn $3 back. That's work. That's not
So
fun.
I'm mad that they're making us do this math in our head. Like, follow, subscribe. Let us know what you think about this. Like, follow, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.